Hello to you, fellow StarCraft lover. I am Squall, and this is StarCraft 2. In this match, I'm going to be featuring vVv WaKai. He is a member of vVv Gaming, the team on which I am part of, and that sentence was really awkward, but hopefully you got the intent of what I was trying to say. And his opponent for this match is going to be Nova, Red Zerg. WaKai here is in the Masters League, and additionally he is part of the Aspire team on vVv Gaming, and it is a team that's all about training and becoming the best you can at StarCraft 2. They have training matches all the time. I've been getting to know some of them on their training nights. It's been a lot of fun. They are great people. And yeah, I am very delighted to be able to feature him a bit. So this is actually the first game of a vVv player I have cast since joining vVv. I have an enormous stack of replays. Fun times will be had. And for those of you watching this on the vVv YouTube channel, you can find out more about my channel at youtube.com/squallcasting, spelled the same as the little logo there on the right over here. And yeah, I cast a lot of StarCraft 2 content. I do hope you will come and check out my other content. So we've got a TVZ going down here. WaKai looks like he's gearing up for a pretty typical 1 Rex gasless fast expand, a pretty typical build at this stage in the metagame. And I'm just kind of remembering, like, you know, a year ago when no one expanded, and then Zerg started figuring out that they could do a hatchery first, and everyone was going, oh man, that's so unfair, Zerg get like a free base. And it was just one base play for such a long time. And it's so cool the way the metagame has evolved so dramatically over the past couple years, up to the point where, you know, people will take like 3 bases before there's any fighting at all. And 1 base all-in styles have really kind of fallen out of favor. They still happen here and there, but they are certainly much less prevalent than they used to be. WaKai looks like he's going to gear up for that expand. Going to throw it down on the low ground. A tiny bit risky, but in all likelihood he will have that bunker up before any sort of Zerglings can come out, especially since Nova did go for that that hatch first. And yeah, this is about as safe as it gets, really, with what Nova's doing. And I don't know why, but it feels like my music is really, really loud. Hang on a second, let me turn that down. Okay, that's a bit more reasonable. The reason the volume didn't change for you at all is because I actually run my computer sound through a separate like sound system, like a stereo sound system, and then I run a headphone jack out of that, and I get more control over the sound that way, which is really beneficial to me, because sometimes if it's just plugged straight into the computer, it's just not loud enough for me. And you might go, what, do you like blowing out your eardrums? No, I'm half deaf, that's why. I can't remember what one of my videos, 3 or 4 videos ago, I shared a little bit about that, but I'm trying to remember which one. I can't remember which one, but long and short of it is, I am very deaf, and so I need headphones to be pretty loud to actually hear anything at all. So, getting back to the game, WaKai is going up to 3 barracks off of this. So, going to be pretty typical. Oh, 4 barracks now. So, yeah, going to be bio play. Nothing too terribly surprising. For his part, Nova is getting Zergling speed and has pulled off gas entirely, so that way you can get that mineral income just a little bit faster and get that 3rd up. Bam! At the 5-minute 20 mark. How very typical. A bunch of Zerglings are, of course, going to cruise on out and poke the front just to keep WaKai honest, but he's got that bunker up. He is going to be A-okay. And actually going to meet these Zerglings halfway, and the Zerglings instantly turning around, getting on out of there. And oh, a single Marine getting a little bit over-aggressive, but it's okay. His buddies arrived to save him as the game does the camera work for me. How fantastic. So these are going to scoot around the outside. Make sure there's no like crazily fast 3rd. And just, you know, make sure that there is indeed a bunker here. Doesn't have any Marines in it yet, but I assume he'll load that in the very near future. These Marines continuing to push on out. Might be trying to deny a little bit of creep spread, although Nova hasn't even started any creep spread at all. Oh, could be just Overlord hunting. That's always a fun and excellent thing to do. Found another Overlord over here. A bunch of Lings are coming, but they're just going to tuck themselves into the corner there and be 100% safe. How fantastic. And WaKai not putting on any tech labs yet. Hasn't even taken gases yet. Okay, throwing them down now. It feels a little bit late to me. It could be he wants to get a fast third orbital based on his mineral count. That wouldn't be too surprising. Although typically I would see people throw down their 2 gases a little bit sooner. Possible that's a mistake, or it could just be he just wanted a ton of Marines. The minerals are getting really high. Like I really wonder if he's wanting to gear up for a fast third command center. He hasn't dropped it yet though. How curious. For his part, Nova does have his 3rd down, building 2 queens out of there. And from there, he will, of course, begin his creep spread, getting his lair up now. Very typical. And, yeah, just now starting to add on a tech lab, continuing to produce Marines, still putting quite a few minerals. I would love to see him at least just throw down a command center, even if he's not thinking about taking the 3rd anytime soon. It's always a beneficial thing to have a 3rd orbital just for additional SCV production. You can saturate this just a little bit faster, and then of course you get more mules over time. And there we go, finally going to throw it on down. Very excellent. Supply depot wall is complete, and a whole bunch of Marines are going to head on out. Combat shield is on the way, stim nowhere in sight, but that's a lot of Marines actually. How many Marines does he have? 29 Marines versus 14 Zerglings. Yeah, that's fairly beefy. Now, Nova, of course, will probably start producing out a lot. Yes, 30 Zerglings. Baneling Nest finishing up now. So, WaKai taking a little bit of a risk here, trying to push in here with that many Zerglings out. Might try to just snipe off the Queen, then maybe run. Or get the hatchery, maybe. Who knows? Oh, probably going to try to tuck himself behind that mineral line. Wow, actually killing a lot of drones. Nova just letting him do stuff. But, oh, he's pinned in there, and here come the Baneling. And see you later, Marines. Not the best attack ever by WaKai. Yeah, I feel like that really late gas and tech lab has to have been a mistake. And that he wanted to push out at that time, but then, you know, he didn't have combat shields or stim done, so a little bit odd. A bunch of Zerglings up here now. Not sure why he hasn't loaded the bunker. I will assume he will do so in the very near future. And, Nova just going to hang out in the middle. Let's take a look at how many workers got killed. Wow, he took out 12 drones, so it's not too bad. Take a look at the resources lost. Nova's actually lost more resources total. But he did use up quite a few Banelings, and you know what, that actually wasn't the worst thing in the world for WaKai, because, well, basically it forced Nova to spend a ton of larvae on attack units. And those are all larvae that are not drones. And, you know, looking at 64 drones now at the 11-minute mark, you'd probably want to be closer to 70 or maybe even 80 drones. You know, if that attack hadn't come, that's where he would be. So, well, WaKai did sacrifice a lot of Marines. It was not, you know, for no reason whatsoever. 3rd is done. Hasn't floated over just yet, but gonna start muling it on up. And it looks like we got a little bit of mutaplay coming out of Nova. How very excellent. So, both players just kind of sitting back for the time being. Starport, Armory, on the way. 3 more barracks. Wow. That's a lot of barracks. Hopefully he decides to make reactors at some point eventually. Otherwise, like, this is kind of like Brood War style, I guess, because, you know, factories didn't exist back then. Single overseer getting in. Doesn't see everything. Yep. Sees all the barracks with no head-ons whatsoever. Starport does have a reactor, though, and it is, of course, producing out medevacs. And, yep, here we go. 3 reactors going down now. Probably going to start building some here as well soon. And, once again, having a little bit of macro trouble. Exploding quite a few minerals. And here come the Mutalisks. Going to swing on in. At the very least, going to force that orbital to lift, deal lots of damage. Is Stim even done? Ooh, Stim just barely going to be done in time. Marines, of course, will be able to come and hopefully save the day. They do arrive. Intelligently not stimming his army. If he stimmed his entire army, that would actually be a ridiculous amount of damage dealt to it. And forcing away the Mutalisks. Mutalisks is going to keep dancing back and forth, trying to be annoying, but really not accomplishing all that much. And Nova can't be too terribly happy with that outcome as well. I don't think he didn't even get any SCVs at all. Looks like he got like 3 or 4. Not the worst thing ever, but now WaKai knows what's up. There are going to be missile turrets absolutely everywhere. The Mio is going to continue to swing about, trying to deal what damage they can. But at this point, I would say that is a wasted investment on Nova's part. And probably just going to join him up with his main army and use them in, general combat. But here comes Nova with an absolutely enormous swell of Zerglings. And oh, WaKai caught out in the open. Needs to try to get some stuff behind that supply depot pole, but there's just too much. Okay, he raises the supply depots now. That's excellent. Submarines on the high ground going to be able to help repel this. Nova does fall back, but here come the Banelings, going to bust through the door, breaking down the supply depots. And here come the Zerglings, tra-la-la-la-la, marching in and killing everything. Oh man, Nova sacrificing some Mutalisk, but this is absolutely going to be forced to lift. And WaKai definitely on the back foot at this point. And oh, very intelligent, using the SCVs with hold position Micro to hold back all the Zerglings. And oh, Banelings getting through, killing so many SCVs. 35 have been killed total this game. And WaKai will probably be able to push this out now, but he has taken a tremendous amount of damage. And nope, Nova's reinforcing with another big swell of Zerglings, Morphian and Baneling. Oh, never mind, 4 Banelings. I am capable of counting, but I don't always choose to do so. And yep, Baneling's going to be done soon. Trying to take his third, but he is definitely in a rough spot here. Going to be able to pick off the Overseer at some point. Or chooses not to, because there's an enormous army at his door. And here come even more Zerglings and Banelings. This force, though, not nearly as frightening as the last one. The Banelings get in, don't do too terribly much. And WaKai doing a nice job of repelling this. Nova finally getting his infestation pit up. That definitely feels late. But behind all of that, he did take his 4th and already has it reasonably saturated. And yeah, that income count really reflects the position WaKai is in. 31 Harvesters versus 76. And only on 3 bases. One of which he doesn't even have any SCVs whatsoever. So yeah, got another Spile growing down. How very interesting. Could be he wants to... Well, okay, yeah, he's going to move up to Brutal Attack then. Got the Infestation Pit. Immediately started working on his Hive. Oh, but here we go with a drop. How much is it going to accomplish? Doesn't look like that much. Might be able to focus the hatchery down. Actually, yeah, going to be able to focus the hatchery down. That looks worse for WaKai than it actually was. Picks off the 4th, and he definitely needed that at this point. He will pick off the 4th. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. And so that is definitely a positive development for him. Might push in here. This is a bit risky, but when you're this far behind, you gotta take risks, man. Stimming up, working away at the hatchery. Where's Nova's forces? There's a whole bunch of Banelings morphing in here, but there, kill the 3rd. There we go. Okay, good. Kills the 3rd. And wow, a very nice counterattack by WaKai. Nova just not prepared. Had a huge economic lead, but didn't really capitalize on it properly, or just didn't anticipate WaKai pushing out with this much force. And the drones all coming back to long distance mine, but dude, this is not the safest position in the world to long distance mine from. And WaKai continuing to push forward. 28 Zerglings on the way, but Nova GG's. And wow, Nova with a pretty bad blunder there, did a ton of damage to WaKai, but then just didn't make an army to deal with WaKai's counterattack. Wow. That was definitely a blunder on his part, so... Yeah, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, if you're on the vVv YouTube channel, please check in the description below for a link to my YouTube channel, or just type into the address bar, youtube.com/squallcasting. And I will see you guys next time.